me that I was very young, that I was getting steady 2K a month. Even my McDonald's don't pay me 2K a month then. And I'm like, bruh, it's not my fault you didn't take the tax away from the money you gave me. If you are a student and you have paid tuition fee, in 2020 was the first time I filed my tax in Canada, and let me tell you the kind of shock that I experienced filing this tax, because I couldn't process it. I'm like, okay, you want me to give you information to do what exactly? Do you understand? Because I know that they remove tax from our money, right? Even in Nigeria, that's one I understand. I know like federal workers or like government workers, they once they receive their salary, they remove the tax. But in Canada, then I say we have to go and file it. In my head, I'm like, you guys already removed it from the beginning of the year to the end. Why am I going to go through extra step to file it again? Long and short of my story, I followed my parents, we met an accountant, and then we submitted all the relevant information, and they did file the tax. But what was interesting was the amount of money I got back from that filing. Stay with me and I'll go into details. Welcome back, guys. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Ade. I stay in Canada and I make Canadian-based content. I'm Nigerian though. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment, because it's going to be a very, very effective, and you're just going to understand a lot of things in this video. Now let's get right into it. Firstly, what does it mean to file your taxes? When you hear like, oh, it's tax season, oh, we need to go and file my tax, we need to go and do this. What does that actually mean? So now let me break it down to you. When you file your tax, you're basically giving the government, you're basically reporting your income from the prior year to the government of Canada. So we have like a tax agency, it's CRA. If you don't know the full meaning, it's Canada Revenue Agency. So basically we give them all of this information that this is the work I did last year. I'm giving you everything that I made or all my documentation. Please review it and get back to me. So there are two things here. It is mandatory for you to file your tax. You don't decide like, I'm going to file it this year, I'm not going to file it later. No, you have to file your tax. Now you might be saying, Ade, but I heard some people, they don't file their tax. That's their business. You don't want to be caught with being those people that don't file their tax in Canada. Because when they actually have your time to now review that for the past 5 years, I mean something years, you have not filed your tax, they will sit down and they will deal with you. The thing about Canada is that don't get caught. But once you get caught for something small, when the last time investigating, I'm like, oh, so this is what you did, but this is what you have. So if they say file your tax, just file it. So what is the idea of filing the tax? I give you my information, check everything. Oh, I didn't commit fraud, I didn't overdo this, whatever. They're going to figure it out for you. But there's some things again, there's like some misconception about filing your tax. And I want to believe this is why many people don't file their tax. So there's this common, that filing your tax in Canada can go two ways. First, it's either you get a reward from the government or you get unrewarded. I don't know how to say it. What's the opposite of reward? You shall don't get reward, okay? So when you file your tax and the government says that, oh my God, Precious, you work so hard. Oh, we overtaxed you actually. Sorry, my baby, take this money. Don't be angry. Just take like $3K, put in your pocket just to, feel all right for overtaxing you like last year. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, Canada, you guys are the best. I take the money, right? And I keep it. That's one way it could go. However, I could go to the government and be like, hey, this is my tax, this is my information from last year. And they'll be like, what the hell? You made all this amount of money and in fact, you are owing us $10,000. And now I'm like, I didn't know that I shouldn't have given you my tax. I shouldn't have reported my income to you, right? But that is the two ways you could go. You can actually get benefit from them back, or they can actually impose more charges on you that, okay, you didn't pay well enough tax, or you haven't paid enough, okay? So I feel like when they impose you money like, okay, go and bring back this amount of money, that's why people will be like, why am I even going to go and fight the tax? But either way your case could go, benefit or not, it is still very essential to file your tax. If you know that, okay, there's a high chance of them telling you to pay back, still go and file it. It's still better for that to not be meeting you in the future. I'm going to show you a good example. In 2020, during COVID period, as many of you know or might not know, when we were locked down, the government did give us a lot of money. So I think we were getting like 2K a month. As I then 2K, we were sure getting 2K a month. Even me, that I was very young, that I was getting steady 2K a month. Even my McDonald's don't pay me 2K a month then. So at the time of the period when we were done, they were just giving us money. They didn't tax it. So coming year, like the next year in 2021, when we had to go fight the tax for 2020, then they were like, oh, Precious, I remember I gave you a lot of money. It's time for you to pay the tax back on that money. And I'm like, bruh, it's not my fault you didn't take the tax away from the money you gave me. And they're like, well, I know that's not how it feels, but you still have to pay me back. And let me not lie, I think I ended up collecting during that period, I collected over like 11,000 or 12,000 from them. But when we did the tax return and everything, I had to pay back like 2,000. My parents had to pay back money. I felt like our whole household had to pay over like $6,000 back to the government. So yeah, unfortunately, that's my little bit sad story for the COVID period. And whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure that even if, many of you might be asking that, okay, why is it that some people, they get benefit back and me, I'm paying back? The biggest thing that I see, or like a pattern that I see frequently, I'm not an accountant, so I don't really know, but the pattern that I see mostly is that many people during the tax year, like we're in 2025 now, we have to declare for 2024, maybe 2024, because every individual has an income bracket. The family has an income bracket, a single person has an income bracket. Basically, you cannot make more than this in your family. I don't know the numbers, you might have to go look it up, but it's like, for example, Precious now, she's single, she has no husband. By the time she's done with year 2024, she should not have made above $60, that kind of thing. So when Precious goes files her tax and you're like, well, I actually made $80, then they'll be like, okay, now you are doing too much, give us back the money. Do you understand? So it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So I guess once you're in your income bracket, you're not doing too much, you're not saying, oh, you're taking shift, you're packing shift here and there, you should be in good grace with the government. An important thing for you to notice that this does not run all through the year. It's not like, okay, we're in 2025 now, you're going to use the whole of 2025 to file your 2024 tax. It doesn't work like that. There's a specific free period as to when you can file your tax. Once the day starts and once it ends. So now let's get into that. The tax period for 2025 starts on February 24, 2025, and it ends on the last day of April 30th, 2025. So this is the period you have to be like, Trudeau, well, it's not more Trudeau, maybe Makani by then, either way. You just be like, sir, I've brought my offering onto you or whatever, and then they will make the decision on the case. It's time to file your tax. There's some important document that you'll be needing, and for one, it's called T4 document. You get this T4 from your employer. So in 2024, if you work 8 jobs, you have to go all of these 8 jobs for them to provide you your T4. Basically, every job that you do, you get like a tax slip for it, that okay, this is your tax slip. If you say you work in McDonald's January to February, McDonald's will give you the tax slip. You now went to Tim Hortons February to March, that one will give you a tax slip. You now went to Subway, that anywhere you shall go, you need to make sure that you gather all of your tax slips. So you people that used to fly jobs to jobs, this is Kamana. You have to go all of them. If they're nice, they'll email it to you, they'll send it to your house. But some of them, you actually need to track them down to be like, Oga, I need my tax slip. So you need a T4. So the T4 is the federal tax slip that you get from your employer. But for people like us that we live in the province of Quebec, we actually get 2. And this is because we pay 2 taxes, right? We pay to the federal and we pay to the provincial government. So when it's time for us to get our tax slip, we get one for the federal, which is the T4, and then we get another one from the Quebec government, which is the RN1 tax slip. Okay, so yes, we do pay 2 taxes, but I mean, when it's time to get the benefit, we do get double the benefit too. But if it's time for you to pay back, you might pay. You might actually be paying 2 times. So you pay for federal and you pay for Quebec. Or you might be lucky, you pay Quebec and you don't pay federal, or you pay federal, you don't pay Quebec. I know, it's a weird system. You just have to get used to it. So yes, that's the documents that you need to file your tax. Now, the big question is, how exactly do I file the tax? Where do I start from? Don't worry, that's why it is here for you. You have many options and resources to file your tax. When I first filed my tax, I think for the first 2 years of me filing my tax, I actually used an accountant. I used my parents' accountant. Then eventually I went to like a student accountant or something. I used them. But obviously it's not free. They charge you. I think a little bit above $100. It depends on what relationship you have. If you have like maybe like an accountant that deals with your finance prior, maybe you don't need to pay as much. If you're just new and you're just finding your footing, maybe you do need to pay much. But yes, mainly the people that they use, you find an accountant, you can find them anywhere. You find them on Indeed, you find them somewhere, and then you book like an appointment. They tell you all the documents you have to book, they file your tax, and they get back to you. But now, the second way you can file your tax, which is the most interesting one for me, is through like third parties, how do I say this, maybe website or something. So we have tools available that can help you easily file your tax. You know, you don't necessarily have to go to somebody and say, okay, please don't help me file it and let me know what my fate is. No. And the moment I got this and I acted, I was so happy with myself, because I imagine, like, even if it's $50, I'm saving money. So what is this? There are different type of websites that you can use to file the tax. But me, the one I like the most, the one that is easy and efficient for me, is no other one than Wealth Simple. They did not sponsor this video, so maybe they can sponsor it if they see it. Anyways, so I use Wealth Simple to file my tax, and I've used it for 2 years consecutively now. It is very easy. It's very straightforward. No stress. All you are doing is plugging numbers. And basically, that's what the accountants do too. Once you give them your file, they just plug in the numbers and they let you know. You're technically paying them for the time that they are plugging in that numbers, which you can do by yourself if you have access to the resource like Wealth Simple, like I do. Wealth Simple is a free application, might be his website, because you have an application but you have to file your tax on their website. It's free. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to, there's no hidden whatever. They will not say, okay, check out, but before you check out, start the free trial. Nothing. You go, you sign up, graduation, pressure, put in all your information. They will tell you instant too. Sometimes your account will be like, I'll get back to you, just because they have a lot of clients, right? They are prioritizing clients. But you instantly, as you're plugging in the numbers, you will see your this thing going up and down. Oh, you are holding. Oh, you're not holding. Oh, you're getting money. Oh, you're not getting money. And then by the end, you submit it straight directly to CRA. And for Quebec, you submit it straight to Quebec Revenue. So I love this very much. You guys should definitely look it up. If you want a step-by-step tutorial on how to file your tax using Wealth Simple, let me know. I'm going to be making an exclusive video. You can connect with me on Instagram. You can connect with my email, adeshawab13@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email like, oh, precious, whatever. I'm not going to help you to file your tax, okay? You can do it by yourself. But you can just message me for questions. Like, oh, you know, I saw this, I saw that, whatever. And I'll be there to, I'm only one call away. And I'll be there to save the day. If you enjoyed this video, I give you a solid in this video. Like, start mentally preparing your tax, everything. The only good thing why I look forward to this tax is that I always get money. Hey, I forgot to add an information for you guys. If you are a student and you have paid tuition fee, you definitely need a tax slip from your school, and this will help you too. So say you're already owing them money and they're saying you're going to pay them $2,000. Half of the time, by the time you submit your school tuition fee, tax slip, whatever, it actually brings down the money drastically. So it depends on you. Do not forget to get your tax slip from your school. That being said, till I come here next time, it's your girl Ade, and this is Life with Ade. Bye guys.